RPA infused with AI. You could basically, instantly be able to help even the smallest businesses because you already have pre-trained models that work from day one, right? Just get up and running with RPA in under 5 minutes.
Two things that I would always focus on is, as a business, make sure you have a good CPA or a good accountant, because they're going to be the storytellers and tell your business. They're the ones that can look at this business from a different perspective and tell you what historically looks like, what it's going to look like from a forecast, runway, those types of things.
I do want to have more availability to spend with family and friends and to serve the community and to do all of those things. And really, if nothing else, RPA affords you that. It gives you that ability. So you can use it to become from a small business to an enterprise if that's what you're hoping to do.
It was like the beginning of the 20th century, like when we first started getting jobs. It was mainly repetitive, put the candy on the thing, put the wrapper on the thing, hit the metal thing. It was all the same kind of, we were fine with that. We were fine. It was kind of, it's ancient, it's old, it was new for us then. Now we're in a place to where we can get just about anything we want done at the blink of an eye, snap of a finger, if you know what to do.
If we know what we have is making a difference to every company that we talk to, and that every company that buys in and understands the value right away, the impact it's having is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's life-changing overnight. It really is.
Welcome to another episode of the RPA Show. I'm your host, Rob Howes, my co-host, Wilton Rogers, the automation guy. Man, and do I sound loud and clear right now, Wilton?
You sound okay. I think you sound like you're a little far away, but it's still clear.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut down Safari, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to shut Safari completely down so you can get full bandwidth here to Chrome and get the voice inflection going out. So here we are, another conversation. This is our second day of a live show. We've been doing this podcast. We've been podcasting for a while. This is the second LinkedIn Live. I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm really excited to start being able to share what we do live and being able to have people come on here and ask questions, maybe some ideas they may, or just things that they want to know more about, and hopefully we can, answer those questions and bring resources to them as well.
Right. So thank you for saying that. And it reminds me, anyone tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. But we got questions that came in from everywhere last week, and we're going to respond to some of those today as well. So wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, let us know where you're watching it from. Where are you? Country, state, city? You want to get it down to the zip code? It's all good. Let's find out. And then drop your questions. If you ever have any questions, put them down there. We'll find them. Somebody will find a question, and no question is a dumb question. John Maxwell says to get the best answers, you have to ask the best questions. So I'm gonna ask you to do that, man. And so on this show, what we do, we talk about some things probably most people don't talk about. First of all, RPA, what the heck is that? Robotic process automation, what is that? What is automation? What is it?
You there?
Oh,
I got you. I think I lost you. Or was that me? Okay, you're back.
I'm back. Okay. See, technology, it's great. You can get us to Mars, but sometimes we can't even have a conversation here on Earth. But if this show is designed to help people understand how to leverage technology, and particularly business automation, and particularly RPA, but all things business development. So today, man, what I want to do is let's find out from the automation guy, what's new. Let's find out what's new in this space, man, and maybe some companies that you've been working with and some new discoveries, that can be insightful.
Yeah, well, great question. Well, first of all, I think RPA has really taken a change as far as what's happening now and the capabilities of it. So people are being more aware of the service and what it provides. So what's hot right now is a lot of businesses are trying to find ways to really implement RPA. What is it? They understand we call it's automation on steroids, right? Because first of all, every company says they have automation. What they do is they have automation software that does a certain thing up to a certain point. And then something else has to be done, right? RPA does all those other things that need to be done, right? And can manipulate all the data that they want to. Once they understand that, the opportunities for them to grow the company is quick. So what we're seeing is people that are saying, okay, I don't know what RPA is, but obviously it can do something for my company right away. Show me how. And the minute they show you how, we show them how, or they know how, their business starts to see opportunity with the business right away. So we're seeing a lot of people wanting to be more educated, being able to invest more time and energy into, okay, you know what, I heard this can help my company. How can I help? So the busy thing now is happening right now. The hot spot right now is people being educated and looking into ways to tap into it and start the process.
You hit you hit the nail on the head. You said educated, and that really is the key. You know, our phrase is, as you can see above my head, educate so you can automate. And the reason why it rhymes so well is because you have to level up your understanding about what you're doing. And this technology and understanding it, once you do things like save 10 hours of work and get it done in 4 minutes. You do things like save, what was it, a grocery store, 100 hours? You got to get into that too. You got to talk about that story. I actually worked on a video clip from our conversation when you said that last week. I just made a video clip out of that. I just thought that was phenomenal. You know, I wanted to go back to that. You know, 100 hours in a week. Mm-hmm. How is that possible to save a company 100 hours of labor of work in a week?
Yeah, well, you know, a person works 40 hours a week, right? That's the average. Let's even break it down to 35 hours a week, whatever you want to break it down to. Well, for mathematical purposes, round it up to 40. Keep it simple, okay? Let's just say that 20% of what they do is this repetitive process, right? So 20% of 40 is, do the math. Come on, someone do the math for me. Is like 25, 10, let's just say 8 hours. It's about 8 hours, right? Let's say 8 hours a week that person is doing this repetitive task. And then you have that same person, you have, 10 other people doing that same task. Okay. And they have to do it because they're getting more volume, so they need more help, but they also have other tasks they have to do, so they can't really do that full time. If you even broke that down and say you have 10 people doing it, that's 80 hours, 100 hours. That's basically 4 full-time people doing it, right? So whatever the numbers are, but when you look at it that way, you say they're doing the same repetitive tasks over and over again, and the bigger the company gets, the more volume they have to add.
Right.
So it costs occur. What we've done is like you can do volume without adding cost because it's repetitive. If they're doing if we take 20% of what they're doing away from 10 people, 12 people, 20%, what's that going to do for your company, first of all? Because now they can spend their time doing something else, right? Thank you. There you go, Sid. 8 hours. I was right. All right. What's that going to do for your company, right? But the great thing about it is like those 10 people doing those 8 hours, like you said, per week, and then all of a sudden you doubled in business. Now you have to hire another 8 people. Let's say you hire another 4 people. You're still hiring more bodies. Whereas a bot, all you gotta do is say, hey, you're not working 8 hours today. You're gonna work 8 hours. You're gonna work 16 hours today, 16 hours tomorrow. You're gonna work that bot to death, right? It can handle volume.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand that, you can grow the heck out of your business, and people are understanding that now. And that's what we did for this company. It's like, 100 hours, nothing. I think we're on their seventh or eighth bot already since then.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Here's a question that came in. How do I know? Of course, this is if we were doing RPA Family Feud, this would be probably the number one answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bing, 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 bing. How do I know if RPA is good for my company, right?
Yeah.
I can probably do a video for that too. Key right here. It's a great video because that's really the number one question.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know if RPA is good for my company? Because the people can understand that. Understanding is what creates movement. That's people stay stagnant when they don't understand, or they get caught into paralysis analysis. So if you can understand quicker the action will be taken as well.
Yeah, you hit it. It's understanding. It's really understanding. And what I mean by that is like someone coming here, if someone has an accounting firm, they said, okay, what's the best process that you can automate from you? I can go down a list of stuff that we do. We've done this. We've saved this company this much time. The ROI was this. We've done this. We've saved them this, which we're going to actually talk about here in a bit. But I can go down the list, right? But it's not until I reach out to them and say, what do you do that is just a pain in your behind? That just it's a sore thumb. It's something that you have to do all the time, but you can actually think about doing. And if you can find something that you can do, then RPA is good for your company, right? So if there's something that that, I gotta do this over and over. If I didn't have to do this, I could be doing this. If I didn't have to do this, I could be doing this. Whatever those things that you have to do but you don't want to do are, those are things that you have to look into RPA. And I guarantee you, more than likely, 30% of what you're thinking about, a minimum of 30% of what you're already thinking about, can be automated by using RPA.
And what's a quick way of identifying that again? What's the quickest way to identify that?
If you know nothing about RPA, if you're like just on the first time, this is like, what is RPA? It's another automation. No, it's another software. No, what it is something you can relate to doing that is just a pain to do. What I mean by that is that it's repetitive, it's rule-based. You wake up every morning and you have to do that task. You wake up every week knowing you have to do this couple times a week. This is part of your job title that you have to do something every single time. Mm-hmm. That's the area that you want to figure out think about RPA. And the reason why is not necessarily the one that you're going to end up doing, but it's going to have you identify what RPA is and how it can be used within your own organization. Mm. And that's what you want to do. Understand it. Because they might say, okay, well, you know what? Inventory processing is just a pain in my butt. And then you might say, you know what? It is the biggest manual process, but it's okay. It's working okay for now. Bank reconciliation is where the mess is. Can we start there? Yeah. So, that's the important part, is really understanding RPA first.
Understanding RPA first will help you get to that ROI, which you were just getting to talk about something about in regards to ROI. We're going to hear about that in a second.
Simply automate. Automation made simple. Simply automate. Simply automate. Automation made simple. Simply automate. Simple.
Yeah. ROI, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this show is brought to you by Simply Automate. It is automation made simple. But we want to make life simple. Simplicity is the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Complexity is the enemy. Okay?
Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
we got some more. See, got some stuff here. Look at this. the quickest way to figure out how to get automation to help you. Think of the most repetitive tasks you have to do for your job every week. If it's repetitive and something you have to do each week, you can probably automate it with RPA. Well said, brother.
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And like you said, if you wake up in the morning and you can pretty much know what you're going to do when you get to work, when you turn that computer on, and you know the things that you have to do, more than likely that can be automated. And the great thing about it, you don't have to wake up thinking about that anymore. Like, not only physically not doing it, but subconsciously taking that thought away from you completely and not have to worry about that anymore. What will that do for your focus and your vision to do other things? You know, it's big.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, you think about it, your focus and intention only comes from the energy that you have. And so if you can then reallocate energy, you'll have more energy for the things you need to have attention for. It's really not that complex.
It's not. It's not. And then you wonder why people are, some people become successful a lot faster and they think it's because of luck. It's not necessarily because of luck. It's because they found that system.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, Matthew has something here. Have used automation anywhere in the past. That company was very good at providing free training. However, those skills translated nicely to using Power Automate. Okay, was not easy to switch. We know switch gears, but now I prefer Power Automate Desktop.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew, thank you for sharing that so much. You know what? Very transparently, we we're partners with both Power Automate and Automation Anywhere, UiPath, a few more. And Automation Anywhere, the training there, the free training they had, you're right. It's next level, and you can translate that information into whatever software vendor, RPA vendor you're working with, because the information that they share is not sticky to their software. The information they share can be used pretty much any other areas. So they're right. The training is next level, and Power Automate has been good, for us as well. And there's a few more that, and it really depends. The great thing about all this, everything coming out, is that when you really know your software, you can really provide a service. If you know the software and you have a team to be able to produce on those softwares, and you're not limiting your clients to any capabilities that it can take care of what it takes care of. When you really understand that, how to use that software, you're going to be able to make a huge difference as a RPA service provider for any business at any size, because now you can do large enterprise because you know how to use that software, but then you can do that same process for a small business of 10, but use a different software and get the same results that you can for that company than you would for a large enterprise, or at least the results that they are looking for and beyond, based on that software. That's what's good about working with different software programs.
Yep, that's really good. And it's really important, again, to do a deep dive and really understand what you're trying to accomplish. That's why it's good to get with people like Simply Automate, not just software providers, but service providers. People who are going to understand how to help you use the software the best way for your company, the best way to execute for what you're trying to deliver on. So it's very, very important. And that's why, education is the most powerful, the greatest thing you can do, and the easiest thing you can do in this part of the 21st century. Oh my goodness, man. They used to walk for miles. I'm talking about walk for months. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? They would walk for several months just to get logic, which back then that was just information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would, and they would die to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's here. It's like, okay, with this information is gold. And another question came up here. How do you calculate the ROI of your RPA deployment and measure RPA success? For those who looking for that acronym, basically, how do you calculate the return on your investment, for your RPA deployment and measure RPA success? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. I think there's different ways you can calculate the ROI. The easier way the simple way is it's just man hours to automation. Basically, it took someone 10 hours a week to do this process. Now it's automated. Now those 10 hours are gone. You can measure it that way. And that's what most people measure dollar for dollar. Is my dollar worth it? But then when you look into, okay, how fast can they do it? No more errors, adding more logic, doing it more often, doing more volume. And then you start adding that into play. They're like, okay, now the ROI is different. And then you have another one. It's like, I'm not doing those 10 hours. I'm not physically or mentally thinking about those 10 hours anymore. I'm focusing those 10 hours on branding the company, on talking to clients, on all my energy towards this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different ROI.
Right.
So when you're talking about ROI for RPA, there's different areas.
Mm-hmm.
But even just the financial area, the return is usually, for us, is usually about 150% or more.
Say that again. Say that again for the folks who didn't hear.
Usually, at the beginning of our first process, the return on their investment is usually about 150% or more. So just on the financial end alone, not including the physical and mental 10 hours of taken away from there, right? Or the volume that can be added onto there, not including any of that value, just that value alone, they're going to get about 150% return on their investment or more.
So return on investment comes in many forms. The main ones are time, money, energy. We didn't talk about energy. That's all the things we're talking about here, because when we can reallocate energy, you can do better with your time, which does things for the bottom line. So it's all connected and interconnected. But the most important ROI, the number one ROI is the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's understanding how valuable that is, because the moment you can be more direct with your time, the more you can optimize your time, get the most out of your time and your team's time.
Right.
Then you get more time. It's like the time just keeps on coming.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, one of the first things you're going to have to pay is attention, right? And you're going to have to spend the time in educating yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And one way you can do that, in the comments, you'll see you can get your free copy of the RPA playbook. Thank you, Sid, for dropping that down there. That is a golden nugget. The RPA playbook literally is your X's and O's to understanding automation. So if you're on the playing field of business, right, this RPA playbook, this will give you the insight, to understand how to call some plays, how to look at RPA, how to understand how it's being used, some of the current best practices, what's relevant to what you're doing, and then maybe how you can start taking a step forward, So thanks, Sid. Folks in that. All right, cool, man. Well, what's our next subject?
What do we have going on? We have we're doing that new tax extension
bot. Yeah. Let's talk about that extension bot. Let's talk about that, man. That extension bot is pretty freaking phenomenal, actually. The 21st. I could go on and on. I could.
What if RPA could help your firm when you need it most? What if it could help out with all those time-consuming 0 individual extensions you do at last minute each year? save you time, money, and maybe even a few headaches. And it turns out the bot does a great job at it. Is that something that might get your attention? That's why we built this dream bot with the team at Simply Automate. And it couldn't have been any easier. And we are now offering this bot to all firms to take the last minute pain out of tax season. No more are your people spending countless hours last minute on mundane tasks. As part of our collaboration with Simply Automate, we're now offering this solution to all firms at our special promotional price. Get started today with your own bot and never look back. Click the link, you won't regret it.
Well, hey, I'm trying to get the comment off the bottom there, but it's stuck and it's there with us. With that, that was the extension bot, man. Let's give a couple nuggets on that. Drop a couple nuggets.
Yeah, I got about 3 minutes, so we can knock this out. Well, we teamed up with Garrett Wagner. What we did is we did an extension bot for him last year, and when he saw what it did for his company, he was like, "Whoa, it's a game changer." He didn't have to hire anybody to do any extensions because we automated the whole thing. So he says, we can do this. He knew all the different accounting software. So we build the logic out of all the software. So, from all those different accounting software. So now people can set up a meeting. If they do tax extensions, they set up a meeting with our team. We'll show how the bot goes, how it's developed and designed. We'll do it based on their current logic, and we'll do a pod within a day. And it'll be up and running. So anytime they get an extension, they just boom, it's automatic, and they don't have to do another extension. So it's a very nice system that we set up. It took us a while. It took us about a good 6 months to really knock this out and do a lot of testing. But it's up and running now. And if they go to rpaextension.com, they'll be able to get it. So that they can do that way. And they're look at that. The questionnaire. So yeah. But if they go to rpaextension.com, you'll be able to set up a meeting and see what it's all about. But if you're doing extensions and you're gonna pay someone to do those extensions, I would have to take a look at looking into the RPA extension bot because it's a game changer. It really is.
Good stuff, man. It's a game changer. Remember, thanks for those questions, everybody, and really appreciate that. Appreciate you watching our show. We're here every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, 7 o'clock in UK. Where else? Yeah, you got it all in your head, man. I got about 4.
I think you hit them all. You hit all the ones. Oh. It's midnight. It's 1 o'clock. It's 12:30 in the morning in Sri Lanka and India.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
good morning, good night, and good day, everybody.
Yeah.
Until next time, man. Listen, follow our page. Ask questions in the comments. You'll see a questionnaire. If you are thinking about if you got a process in mind already, you want to see if you can get it automated, just fill out that questionnaire. It'll take you seconds, all right? And quickly you'll know how you can save time, money, energy, or maybe all three. Until next time.
All right.
Hey, man.
No, man. It was great. Look forward to it. Every week, be here, ask questions. Let us see how we can assist you in your automation journey.
See you later, everybody. Business burnout can be so overwhelming. So many things to do and not enough time to do them. Deadlines to meet with time ticking away quickly. Multiple repetitive tasks that must be completed every single day. What if you could cut that list in half? What if you could automate 50, 60, 70% of what you do every day? You would have less stress. You could get more done in less time. And your company would make more money. Less stress and more money? See how RPA can change your day.